Welcome to Follow the Content Leaders, a podcast where we will learn how leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, coaches, and consultants use their content in their business strategies. Hi everyone, good morning. I'm happy today to be joined by Claire Worswick. She is a food innovator and works on empowering the food industry to drive sustainable growth in strategic innovation using her collaborative team expertise and her innovative with Unity method. So, welcome, Claire. Happy to have you with us here today.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Cool. I always like to break the ice in the episodes by asking my guests what is the one thing that they cannot work without in the office. So I do know you work a bit while you're driving, but is there something that you always have around with you, or how does that
I
look?
don't think you should tell people that I work while I'm driving. Well, in that case, it's my phone. I cannot do without phone. Um, Listening, talking to people, that is literally the one thing. It is my office, my phone.
Well, that's good because it's movable, so it's super convenient,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Awesome. I wanted to learn a bit also about what is it exactly that you do in your company? What does this food innovation system that you have consist of?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. In truth, I'm still building it as I go along, so it's moving. But in essence, it starts with um, the immediate team. So the team that I look after, however big or small that they are, ensuring that they have happy and a stable structure, making sure that they've got the right tools for the job, and also ensuring the environment that they're working in is safe, where they can be open and honest. That really, for me, is the most fundamental thing. In then being able to go on to the next stage, which is empowering the team and helping them overcome their fears, frustrations, and challenges, whether it's having challenging conversations, whether it's working with a difficult team that they have to collaborate with, their customers, internal, anything like that. And once they've overcome that, we can then set on the journey by bringing the teams together, whether it be more than likely one by one. So, for instance, in the food industry, for those that don't know, you have a new product development team, research and development team, and then you'll have various other functions like technical, operations, brands, marketing, finance, commercial sales, anything like that. And you need to work together, singing the same song, if you like, being on the same journey to get to the ultimate goal, which inevitably is profitability.
Mhm.
Profitability of the company means that you are then empowered to be able to do the job, take your money home, do whatever it is that makes you happy. So ultimately, that is the biggest goal. And if no one team is working collaboratively together, then you then create, depending on how bad it is, a dysfunctional team, and it can escalate quite quickly, or it can be a slow burn. But it's about understanding that team and what their challenges are and how they overcome their challenges and frustrations and what we can do to support them. Now that sometimes is met with resistance because it's like that's more work for us. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand what the person opposite you is dealing with personally and professionally, then how can you make headway in gaining the ultimate goal that everybody
Mhm.
wants? So you have to do it. You have to be the bigger person and think about others first and use that empathy at the end of the day to get what you want. Because if you give them what they want, they'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
So that really, in a nutshell, is what I do. And I've
Mhm.
created a process that helps do that and structure that in a way that can be done in 6 to 9 months, really, depending on the
Amazing.
business.
Yeah. I mean, so many people could benefit from managing better their teams, right? Me personally, I come from a background as a lawyer. I worked as a lawyer for a long time, and definitely some of the teams in which I worked in could have benefit from something similar as to what you were explaining. So I'm curious a bit, what made you choose the food industry, or were you just did you find yourself within that industry, or was it an active choice that you took? What made you end up in this industry?
Well, actually, I've always loved food. From probably about the age of 8, I've always been into cooking. I've self-taught cooking. My mum used to show me how to make cakes, and well, I don't know if you guys would have had it, but there's like a Biro book
Mm-hmm.
for those of old. And I used to learn from that. Mum used to pick a recipe and we used to do it together. And then I used to do it myself. And then I decided that I wanted to learn to do more food in the kitchen, be able to cook for them and on special occasions like anniversaries or birthdays. And it just escalated into that. And then I kind of got to my decision point where I had to make a choice what university I was going to go to, what did I want to do. And actually, I didn't want to go to university. I wanted to go to chefing college and I wanted to become a chef.
Mm-hmm.
But that was met with some rather large resistance from my parents. And I was like, okay, this is not going to work. So I found a compromise and I found a course that was food based, but also business based. And I did that. And 4 years later, I ended up in the food industry, not really knowing where I was going to go with it. So I started out in manufacturing. I actually started out in tech. It just kind of escalated from there. When I saw the chance of what new product development really was, I really enjoyed it doing the module at university and seeing it in action. The industry, I really wanted to get there, but I just couldn't find the right step because I'd then been pushed into technical. So I just kept trying and trying and trying, waiting for the doors to open, and eventually I did. I found a door, and not looked back since. And I've been in MPD probably about 15, 20 years now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. There's been a lot of challenges, don't get me wrong, but I have enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And since you've been in business for such a long time, I would love to know also what has been the biggest things, or the biggest things you've seen change in your industry. What has changed from what you did at the beginning to what you do now?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I suppose the biggest thing is the way that we eat. Consumer habits have changed. The new generations coming in now, they are eating differently. They're eating different types of food. They're more adventurous. I think when I was started out in the food industry, well, just before COVID, really, um, it was the same old, same old. Nothing really had changed. Technology advanced, the iPhones now, smartphones, iPads, etc., etc. But it just seems that now, actually in a coffee shop, which is a prime example, it's popped up. It's a wonderful coffee shop. It's all about sustainability and it's all about ethical coffee. And you don't, you can't order. It's all about the technology and using it. You don't order from the counter. You have to order the screen. And you pay at the screen and then they tell you when it's ready. And then you can have a receipt, but you have to have an email. You don't get a paper. So it's little things like that that are actually, well, we really are slowly, surely revolutionising the way we eat things, the way we want to feel about things. And that is to me now is one of the biggest changes that we're going through. So me, I now have to think about, right, so what is coming the next 10 years? What do we want to experience in the next 10 years? And it's really difficult to do that, but also scary and exciting. So technology and the way that the consumers have just changed their eating.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of choices we have now in terms of foods are, I don't know the numbers, but I guess 10 times bigger than what we used to have in the past.
Yeah.
And also, I share a bit what you just said, the experiences, right? When you go to a restaurant, it's no longer just to go eat and then you leave. It's more the experience, the ambience, the how everything goes on. All of these also takes part in your choices of where are you going to go and eat and everything.
Yeah, it's about the feel. It's about knowing as well the fact, and I think people are becoming more aware of what their values are and what they stand for and what they want to see. Obviously there's a lot of vegan, there's a lot of vegetarianism, which is absolutely fantastic. But what does it stand for,
Hmm.
people? Why do people want it? That's what we need to do.
Once we've seen how long you've been in business, what exactly is it that you've done in your business, etc. And now I would like to tap onto a bit more of the content side. So, have you been using content to generate your business, to create some parts of your business? Has content played any part in your business over the past, you've said, 10 to 15 years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've not posted it, I'll be honest, Monica. I'm building it, but everything that I have learned, everything that I have experienced, and I kind of it's like a funnel, I suppose. It's wealth, knowledge, and skill that I want to share. And yeah, I'm not perfect. Some of it won't fit some companies. Some of it I'll get wrong down the road, and that's absolutely fine. That's the point of being an innovator. You've got to keep going until it breaks, and then you relook at it, and then go again. And that I'm trying to build that content to share with everyone, and that's in my network, and those that aren't in my network, to say, everybody's having the same problem. Sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. Probably already know this, but sometimes it just helps if it's already written down and you're reading it. And
Hmm.
that's it. It's the reason. Excuse
Yeah.
me. So yeah, so that's why I'm writing the content. I'm writing behind the scenes, but I know. Don't tell me off, Monica. I need to be consistent in posting.
I mean, at least you have it in your vision, which is already more than others have. So kudos to you for that. And I think you just said two very important things. And one is that it's never going to be perfect, but it's already going to be out there, and that's already something. And for sure, you will be able to improve it later on, but at least you're already moving towards this vision that you have, and you know that that is an important part of the vision. So that's already, as I said, putting you ahead of others. So of course, congrats on that. And you said you haven't been posting, or not as consistent as you wanted maybe, but you have already been generating content. So which are the platforms in which you are generating content, and why did you choose them?
Well, at the moment, I'm just using LinkedIn, and
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that the other platforms aren't, they're not going to showcase what I want to say and to share very well.
Mm-hmm.
I do like to share my innovation in terms of the food side of it and creating um, something from like not minimizing food waste, looking at the environmental sustainability piece, but also looking at what the trends are, and just helping people think a little bit different, and also having a bit of fun on I call it Food Friday, because by the end of the week
Mm-hmm.
we've all had it basically. So so LinkedIn, I am just using that. I have thought about Instagram, but I'm not sure. I'm not convinced, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I get that. I am focused 100% on LinkedIn also, just because it's the only one I kind of understand. So I get where you are coming from. Although Instagram would kind of make sense maybe for more the foodie part, but
Foodie, yeah. I keep toying with it. I keep thinking, well, if I post it on Instagram and on LinkedIn, then at least, I can bring some new generation. And also because I know a lot of the influencers use Instagram.
mhm,
And so I'm watching them really. So I'm watching my competitors. I'm watching what they're doing and how they're doing it, as well as also trying to build my own content and work out what's going to work best for me.
of
Not
course.
necessarily copy what others are doing, because that's not innovation. That to me in my head is not true innovation. It's about creating
Mhm.
a solution, and copying something isn't a solution.
Yes, but always looking at what the market is doing is important to kind
Yes,
of get
yes,
ideas and make your mind up.
yes.
And then, so this is where you are creating content, but I'm also curious to see where you are consuming content. So, are you also only using these two platforms to consume, or do you use any other platforms?
Well, I do like to look on Facebook and Instagram just to have a bit of what's the better word? Time out, really, just to have a look, see what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in other people's lives. But LinkedIn, I use solely for business, for educating myself, for learning something new, and and just to see businesses are doing what, and where my values, play a part in that. Um, like the ocean cleanup scheme and stuff like that. So I just like to see what's going on in the world, because there is so much going on in the world. You can't keep tabs on everything. You just get a
Yeah.
snippet, and I like that. I like that of LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And then from the content that you are generating, which is the part of the process maybe that you are enjoying, and what's the part that you dislike or hate the most?
Content, content writing is I hate the most. So I'm not a creative writer. I do use
Hmm.
ChatGPT quite heavily,
Hmm.
because I've learned to write articles or information or just quick posts. And I think, oh, that doesn't sound good. So I'll use ChatGPT and pop it in there and see what they come up with, and then personalize it. Yeah, I'll use that, or no, I won't use that. So I do use
Hmm.
that quite a lot, which is helping. But yeah, definitely the content writing is something I just quite enjoy.
Well, that's good because you now have a great help for it, which before didn't
Yes,
exist. So it's amazing. And any
yes.
part that you actually enjoy, maybe the coming up with the ideas, the planning, or some other part of the process that you might enjoy.
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy the planning and working out what to write and when. However, I do tend to change my mind at the last second. So I've got my month plan and I know what I'm doing, and then like on the day I'll be like, no, I don't want to post that. I want to post this. So and then I think, well, it's just an added bit. It's just an additional piece of content information that I can put elsewhere. So yeah, I that is the more fun side of being able to chop and change what you can do at the very last second, and I suppose look at what people are posting about and talking, riding on that. It might inspire somebody to do something different, and like that.
Of course, that's the end goal of content, right? Inspiring others. And I guess for now you're doing everything internally, right? With the help of ChatGPT or other tools that you can use. If ever you were to externalize maybe this writing part that you kind of not enjoy so much, would you hire someone or would you try to only use technology? How would you look at that?
Yeah, I would hire somebody if I knew, if I had. I'm trying to build myself 6 months worth of what I'm going to write, so plan ahead
Mm-hmm.
from that that point of view. And then I suppose that I would find somebody to help me write the content, because I don't physically, I'm struggling to find the time to actually post it, finish it, finesse what I'm saying, and actually do like the documentations, letters, the free downloads and everything like that, because it takes up so much time. And I've got a young family. It's about finding that balance between working with my client and doing what they need to do to help them succeed, helping my family, making sure they're right and fed and watered and looked after, and then my work behind the scenes in terms of running my business and building the business. So yeah, if I could outsource it, then I would. So yeah, that's, I suppose for me, that, now you've said that, actually, that's, I have been thinking about it on and off, that I do need to find that.
Yeah, it's a juggling act, right? And then
Yeah,
if you
it
were to
is.
look for this person, like what would be the number one characteristic that you would be looking on for them to have?
I think, I suppose, what would be the number one characteristic? I think I would need to understand their values and what they stand for, and that would be, and that they stand by their values. They just don't say what they are. They actually live and breathe. That to me would drive me to buy it. Although that sounds to some people probably a bit mad, but actually, if you get on with that person and you understand the person, then you're going to write far better for them than if it's just another client.
Of course.
And because I want to remain authentic and I believe in what I do, and I need the person that's going to write for me to do the same. Does that make sense?
Definitely. I completely agree. I've had that in the past, writing for clients with whom I was not aligned in life or in values, and definitely did not work out. Ended up quitting that client just because if I cannot write something that I cannot agree with, and that's just something I learned with time. Great. So this has been great. I always end up with one final question, and that is a question that's completely egoistic because I love to read books and I like to build a list of books to read. So I'm going to ask you, what is the number one book that has impacted your life, or a book that you love?
Oh, well, I haven't, I got it with me. I think it's in my other bag. But I've read a book recently which not changed, but really confirmed my way of thinking. And it's, I can't remember the title of it, The Courage to Be Disliked. I posted about it a few weeks ago. And Owen mentioned the book to me, so I went and bought it second hand off Amazon. So it was a great deal. And he's recommended another book to me, which I'm reading through now, and it was brilliant. Just the way that it's written as a conversation rather than more of a college schoolbook type, so helped me to resonate better with the use of the scholar really more than anything. So I really enjoyed it. Recommend it to you.
Yes, I've read that book and it's completely amazing. I loved it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So thank you very much for joining us here today, and I hope you go on to have a lovely day.
And you take care. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.